We're rolling. Yeah, man. That is like smooth right there. You ever think about
smooth sound?
Like you could
radio.
You could yeah. Oh, this must say You could be like doing like love songs after dark.
That would be awesome, ladies
Yeah.
and gentlemen. Welcome to Love Songs After Dark.
Done.
No, let's go.
Yeah, I'm gonna hire you.
Yeah, after wrestling, I'm gonna be a radio person.
It's a little safer on doing what we do than what you do. Yeah. Well, hey Ricochet, man, thanks for taking the time. I know you're super busy. You're just traveling the world and doing your thing.
It's been fun
with AEW, having fun.
Yeah.
Big event we're going to talk about here tomorrow night. Wednesday night is Dynamite. Always a blast. Always a blast in Chicago.
Yeah.
But specifically this week because it's the Thanksgiving tradition, right?
Yeah.
Lifelong wrestling fan for me. That was always it. As a kid, Thanksgiving's coming. You get the family, you get the turkey, but you got wrestling too.
Wrestling. Yeah. A little Thanksgiving Eve. It's always cool, that they kind of do something like this before Thanksgiving every year. Just give people something to look forward to. Before you bite into that turkey.
Yeah. So what do you do for Thanksgiving? Like you personally, like after the show's done, do you travel back home?
I
or
nothing.
Really?
I sit around and smell the cooking all day.
Mm.
Today, I guess this time I'll be flying home on Thanksgiving, but it's great because as soon as I get home, I know like food's already going to be cooking and the smells when I walk in, it's going to be great.
Love that feeling.
Yeah, I'm excited this year though. It's going to be great.
Yeah. So tomorrow night, do you have any insights as to what is going to go down? What's Ricochet's plan for Dynamite, or do we not know yet?
Beat Claudio Castagnoli.
Okay.
And move on in the Continental Classic.
Right.
That's the plan.
I love tournaments.
I love tournaments.
But the only thing I don't like about tournaments is when you don't know who's facing who. You gotta be like completely real and upfront. Like this is going to be the bracket because that's the fun part. You got to see who's lining up against who.
You got to do they say do your homework. You gotta understand what works against what opponents, because what works against Darby Allin might not work against Claudio Castagnoli or like Brody King. What works against Juice Robinson might not work against Will Ospreay.
Mm-hmm.
So you really got to be pretty, diverse and, your offense or whatever. You got to do your homework.
Change up the game plan a little.
All the guys are so good. You gotta be able to adapt.
What kind of wrestler, for somebody that's new to this and is listening on Kiss FM, that never has seen Ricochet perform? How would you describe your style?
Oh man, high flying, hard hitting, acrobatic, adrenaline pumping. All of that. It's definitely. I like to. I was saying this earlier today. I like to base my matches off of Jackie Chan. Like what would Jackie Chan do in this current predicament? That's what I always think about. Like Jackie Chan would find some cool way to get out of this, or he'd find some cool way to get into this, or something. But yeah, I think Ricochet, he gets your blood pumping, he gets your heart pumping, he gets that adrenaline spike going. You know what I'm saying? When you watch him, the things that he's able to, capable to do.
Here's the difference between Ricochet and Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan's got cameras rolling and they can cut.
That's very
Ricochet
true.
just does that
one chance.
one. That's it.
One chance. Absolutely. It's a little different, but I really do. I mean, I always give it up to Jackie.
Wow. I'm sure he would be very proud of
that. That would make me happy. Yeah.
Of what you have accomplished. I'm a big fan of yours because I've seen some things I've been watching for so long, my entire life basically, but some things that I see you do, I've never seen before, which is really hard to do in the business, right?
Yeah, absolutely. There's been, especially with all the guys and everything that people have been capable of, even now or before. So I appreciate that. It means a lot.
Before you started doing it professionally, who would be some guys or girls that impressed you, that kind of made you go in this direction?
So many. Again, you got your Rey Mysterios, really all the cruiserweights, Rey Mysterio, Juventud Guerrera, Psicosis, your Dean Malenkos.
So good.
All those guys.
So the first hour of Nitro.
Yeah, Blitzkrieg.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the first, and that's literally, I would watch the first hour of Nitro, and then we'd switch it on, and then we'd watch the last hour, of Attitude or Raw or whatever. But when I was a kid, but then when I got into wrestling, my eyes opened up to the Jushin Thunder Ligers, the Great Sasuke's, Tiger Mask, Hayabusas, all those guys
that you couldn't see on TV.
Yeah, and especially at the time, because when I was younger, I didn't know about tape trading. I didn't know about Japanese wrestling. I didn't even know about independent wrestling, really. So you have all those guys, your RVDs, your Sabus. I have so many influences that, kind of inspired me. Especially, I'm not the biggest, strongest guy on the roster, so I have to use what I'm capable of doing in the ring and make it, work to my advantage. So it's just a bunch of things that kind of came together to really, the style that is Ricochet today.
I feel like the best way I've heard you be described on television, this is going years back, is you're a real life superhero. You heard that comparison, right?
Yeah,
because you fly. What if Ricochet could emulate any superhero in the world, who would it be?
Honestly, people ask me a lot, like, what superhero or superpower? It would be super speed, like the Flash. I know a lot of people think flying, but like it'd really be super speed, like the Flash, because the Flash is so capable of, because of his speed. There's so many other things that he's capable of doing. Like, he can move his body so fast, like his molecules kind of so he can walk through walls, he can go up, he can walk up buildings, he can do so much stuff with the super speed. You can go back in time, there's so much stuff that the Flash is capable of doing, that if I really had to pick one like superpower, it would be like the Flash, the Speed Force.
I like that.
Absolutely.
So have you gotten a chance now to like really soak in what this AEW run has meant to you? I mean, you're still relatively new.
Oh yeah.
But have you like thought about how it has kind of changed your career or your mindset?
Absolutely. It helped my mindset completely, because before I didn't have, not that I didn't have, but that love, that passion, those embers were just, just little embers of the fire that was kind of left just burning. And then since coming to AEW, it really was that the kerosene, the gasoline that you throw on those embers to ignite a bigger fire. Mm-hmm. And AEW really has been that. And again, this is just the beginning. It's only been a couple weeks, couple months. Like, this is literally just the beginning of my AEW journey. So that's exciting too, because I feel like I've already made a pretty big splash, and I really haven't even started yet. I've only had a couple matches. I've only had a couple moments. So this is just the beginning, and AEW is the place to really kickstart the next leg of my career, for sure.
Do you think you're custom made for a company like AEW?
Absolutely. I mean, I think, come on, let's be like, and I'm not saying that I am the sole reason. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, say
you're the sole reason.
If there wasn't Ricochet, there would not be AEW.
Okay, I like it.
Again, I'm not saying I'm the sole reason that it happened, but I'm just saying, I feel like what I have done,
You talking about with Ospreay?
Just with Ospreay, with Pac, with AR Fox, with Dragon Gate, with PWG, with everything, overseas, New Japan, everything I feel like I have done in my past career helps set up a world where AEW can exist. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying it's just me, it's the Young Bucks, it's Kenny Omega, it's Ospreay, it's everybody. But I'm just saying, without Ricochet, there'd be no Ospreay, really. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But leading in, I think, just all of us guys, our passion, without that, there would be no AEW. So I think I am a good fit. A lot of the guys I've already traveled the world with, I've already had matches with, I've already been in the ring with, so I think it's a perfect fit.
What's it like back in the locker room? Is it loose back there?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You got your guys who, the guys who don't want, the bad guys who don't want to talk to nobody and stuff. You obviously, you got the Death Riders who you don't see around, and you don't want to see them around, because if you see them, you're probably going to get beat up. You know what I'm saying? Like Hurt Syndicate. You don't really see them a lot. Unless
in the boiler room.
Unless they sneak up on you and you're like, guys, what do you get away from me? It's just scary. But other than that, yeah, those guys you got in the back, you got all the homies, or it's very loving, it's very inspiring. Everybody wants everybody to do so good. Everybody's trying to do their best and make it the best product possible. It's a really cool locker room. I'm happy.
Do you consider the splash in midair with Logan Paul as one of your career highlights?
I mean, I think I would have to. I think just the attention and everything that it brought me, and everything, that Logan brings to the situation, I think it will be a memory, it will be a replay, it will be a clip, it will be something that I will remember, and everyone will, be talking about, I don't say until the end of time, but, for, as long as I can think of, I think it will be, especially when you're talking about the Royal Rumble and moments in the Royal Rumble, I think that will be one of one of the top moments like in Royal Rumble history, which is pretty cool.
It always amazes me, your timing. I mean, people don't understand what you do is so dangerous, and it's like, you know, football's a game of inches.
Absolutely.
AEW and wrestling, it's also a game of inches, but it's a game of seconds, milliseconds, really, right?
Absolutely.
Talk about that.
It really is a game of, like you said, seconds, inches. It really is dangerous out there, and if the timing's not right. I was just talking about this earlier today, actually, when I went to Japan for the first time. Like my sensei, the guy who brought me over, he was always, you know, honing down on, we got to be perfect, we got to be accurate, you know, timing got to be good because we're professionals, so we have, you know, be responsible. They would always, you know, distill that into us.
Great.
Because it's true, because it is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be exciting. It's supposed to be loose. It's supposed to be, you know, a magical world that is wrestling, but at the same time, it's got to be as close to perfect as possible, because we really are giving ourselves to perform, you know, for entertainment, and it really is a dangerous sport. I know it's got its, I don't even know the word, it's, people talk about however they want to talk about it, but it really is so dangerous. And but at the time, I think that's what also makes the adrenaline pump, and that's what gets your heart pumping, and that's what gets, you know, the electricity in the building going, because of everyone knows the dangers that goes into it, and especially a place like AEW when everybody is practically a daredevil.
Yeah.
It really is just an adrenaline show from start to finish.
Your fiance, real quick, Samantha, because I've got to give flowers. Me and my boys, you know, we're old school fans, and we do this thing when we get together and we're watching, and, you know, it's a Royal Rumble weekend or an AEW All Out or whatever. We do Finks, like Howard Finkel's.
Yeah.
And we just try to top each other, like how much we can do the Finkel impression. I'm going to tell you something. In like 10 years, people are going to be doing the Samanthas.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Do you consider her one of the greatest announcers of all time?
Yeah, I mean, it's her story is crazy, because I do, people can try to mimic her, but she's such a good singer. That's her bread and butter, is her voice, and that's why she was able to create these moments, because she was basically making like jingles, like little jingles for each of the wrestler. You know what I mean? She's making jingles for you to kind of sing along to. I don't know if you remember, I think when they went overseas to Paris, or they were in France or something, it was like everything she said the crowd was like going along with, because it's easy to follow along with.
She's a trained professional.
She's a trained professional. Yeah, she's a trained professional. And again, she loves wrestling. She loves the artistry of it. She loves the characters of it. She loves how big and passionate it is. So that's, you know, that's what she wanted to bring to just the professional wrestling world in whatever aspect that she was able to do it. So whether it's announcing or whatever, she just wants to bring that passion and that energy, because again, she's been a fan, you know, for as long as I've been a fan. She went to WrestleMania 14, you know what I mean? She was a kid, you know, so she's just loved it for so long. She just wanted to bring out a different side of the company that really wasn't getting the most
limelight,
I guess.
Yeah.
But that wasn't even her mission. Her mission was to just do the best she can. It's just crazy, like, when her doing that, it just became so big. But I think that's what she was trying to say, like, whether it was an announcer, or whether it was a commentator, or whether it was a manager, or whether it was the GM of the company, or whatever character that she was going to be, I think she would have changed wrestling either way.
No matter what
role it would have been.
Well, that's what you're doing too, man. We really appreciate your work and you putting your body on the line every single time you get in there, because I've never seen a Ricochet match where you hold back, bro.
I really try not to, especially, you know, you have inspirations like AJ Styles and Rey Mysterio and all these guys who are still going at it, you know,
in their 40s.
Yeah. Close to 50. Rey's getting close to 50.
Yeah.
So, and he's still doing it. So I have those guys to kind of look at as inspirations, and if they're still, you know, not phoning it in, like I can't do it.
All right. We are, in addition to the Hot Tag Wrestling Podcast, we are a top 40 radio station. Nice. By under contract, I am supposed to ask one Taylor Swift question per interview. So,
love it.
Taylor Swift is in an AEW ring. She's taking on Kim Kardashian. Who's going over? Who's winning this match? Who you got?
Ah, man, I feel like Taylor's like the underdog babyface. I feel like she's going to get beat up a lot of them. I feel like Kim will, she's going to put in most of the work. She's going to do most of the work for the whole match.
Okay.
But for some reason, I feel like Taylor at the end would pull it out for some reason. I feel like...
She's going to Hulk up?
She's going to Taylor up. Swift up. Swift up real quick. Up. And I feel like she would pull it out of there. And I feel like she's just always overcame adversity after adversity. And I feel like that's her style.
Okay, we need to make this happen. Tony Khan's got the money. Go get Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift versus Kim Kardashian.
That's got to happen. It's got to happen. One last thing before we let you go. We do 5 favorites. So just rapid fire. First thing that pops in your head with Ricochet. The man has -% body fat. So the first question I'm going to ask you is favorite cheat day meal.
Pizza for sure.
You're in Chicago.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah. My friend was telling me I got to get a slice.
Yeah. And by the way, fun fact, Chicagoans were not deep dish fans.
That's what people say all the time, but man, I love deep dish pizza.
Do you?
I love deep dish pizza. I know people like, that's not pizza. That's delicious.
It's because you don't live here. You get sick of it after a while.
I'm not saying it's my favorite, but I love it.
Favorite workout artist to listen to? Favorite music when you're working out?
Honestly, probably something metal. I probably listen to metal. Metallica.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that. Pantera, Kill Switch, Engaged, All That Remains, Lamb of God. Probably, usually that's...
Hard and loud.
If I'm working out, yeah. There's a lot of hip-hop too, but usually, yeah.
Favorite vacation spot you've ever been to? I don't even know. You don't go on vacation?
I don't remember the last time I've been on a vacation.
Yeah.
Like usually if I go somewhere, it's because of wrestling.
Okay, well how about favorite place you've wrestled that you've
Japan, for sure. Japan's would be my favorite spot. But like as far as vacation, oh man, I haven't been on one.
All right.
Honestly, after my honeymoon will probably be my first vacation in a long time.
Good. You deserve it. As a kid, favorite cartoon character? Who were you into?
Probably Peter Parker. Spider-Man growing up was my guy. I just could relate to Peter Parker so much and the troubles that Peter Parker was going through as a kid, but then at the same time he was like Spider-Man. So I had to say Peter Parker. Okay. Yeah.
And then favorite pop that you've ever received in the wrestling business?
Wow. Let's see. Oh, there's a lot. The match with me and Ray, it was cool. Winning the Battle of Los Angeles was really cool. Super Junior was really cool. Man, there's been I haven't even thought and I don't even think I don't even think like that.
You don't. That's what I would think. I would be like, guys, that was my best. I'd be showing. I'd be like, Mom, look at my pop. That's what I'd be doing.
Oh man, coming out against Zack Sabre Jr. the other day, like a couple weeks ago, was pretty cool feeling because the fans just didn't expect it.
That's the best.
Yeah, when they don't expect it and something like that happens. Man, I don't know. That's a hard one. I haven't thought about
it. How about
it
is yet to happen? How about that?
Maybe it's yet to happen, actually. My favorite one's yet to happen.
Manifest it. Dude, thank you so much. Tomorrow night, Chicago. You know it's the craziest crowd in the country. Wrestling
Chicago's always been awesome.
We're wild. So
Chicago's always
Thanksgiving tradition, and I believe this morning I somehow got my wife to agree to come with me, which this is the first time she's ever gone to any wrestling event ever. If she comes tomorrow night. How about that?
I can say, you can watch as much wrestling as you want, and it will be exciting. It will be cool. It will be hard hitting. But like going to a wrestling event live is just a different experience. Mm-hmm. Whether you know about wrestling, don't know anything about wrestling, whatever. If you go to, like, I'm sure by the end of it, she's gonna be like, ah.
But that's the thing, like, okay, because
electricity.
But it's also like my thing. You know what I mean? Like, keep it real. Like it's with my boys. Like I go, like everybody's out of town, so I look to my wife is here. She can go, but she's again, like, okay, I'll go with you. So, but she's gonna.
It might be a different. She might be a little different too. At the end of it,
it's drama. It's like a rock show. Obviously, the athleticism, all the above. So
absolutely,
we can't wait.
The lights, the people. Honestly, and the people really make it a party.
Yeah.
The people in the crowd, they're the ones who make it a party. Like we try to bring it as much as possible, obviously, but man, the people in the crowd, they're the ones that make it a party. And again, live, it's always a party. Everyone's out of their seats, everyone's cheering. So live, it's always the best way.
Love it. We're gonna be part of it tomorrow night. Ricochet, dude, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Come back soon.
Awesome. Absolutely.
Perfect.